challenges that are going unpunished on Man City players are just as worrying to me as dropping points, bearing in mind they're going for the Champions League this year as well. Now, that's a Harry Kane challenge on Sterling, that's an alley over-the-top leg breaker on De Bruyne, and that's another one in Gundogan from Murphy in this game tonight that should have been a red card, could have been a broken leg, and has gone unpunished. So clearly, and I might be out of turn here by saying players are starting to target some of the City players. And I think that could be a big concern for them going forward if the referees don't put a stop to this.
Would that happen, like, back in your, say, Derby day, if you were going up against a Manchester City team who are on this run?
No.
Would there be something within the team which you wanted to get at them?
I've never played with anybody in my era that went out with the mindset to break a leg or injure a player. It's happened. But I've never gone out and said, look, they're better than us. I'm going to smash him and I'm going to do his cruciate and all that. I've personally not heard that.
That type of challenge, you know, saying that you're going to injure somebody that badly is not said. You know, people don't go there with the mindset. Yeah. But what you often hear in the dressing rooms is get in their faces, be physical, let them know you're there. Right. Which is you kind of starting to feel that's the approach for Manchester City now. They're going to keep the ball and make you look silly at times. Let them know they're in for a game.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But what you're seeing, and I think it's an intentional tactic, is players are going just a little too far, in my opinion. Because they can't get close to the ball, because you can't enjoy any possession, all of a sudden you see challenges like you see from Murphy today. And as much as I support Newcastle, defend Newcastle, there is no room for that in the game, in my opinion.
In my day, but specifically, you just get fired straight in. But you never went over the top. That was a golden rule. If you went over the top, it was an apology, and because it was a mistake. But I'm telling you, those sort of...
It's us you're talking to now.
Those
we know.
We've seen you in action.
You never went
out there. I know it's a long time ago.
You never went out to do somebody in that
Not to do somebody, yeah.
And that's up to the referees to sort that out, because that is dangerous. I mean, he's going to get banned. There's no doubt about it, that kid.
I truly believe the referees, the FA, whoever is responsible, will come together and have a discussion
and so
about
they
it.
should.
It needs to be, because there needs to be a stronger approach from the top down to this type of tackling, this type of approach.
You look at it, so I just want to move on slightly, Paul, in the sense that this has never happened before. There's never been a team that's got a 15-point lead after 20 matches in the top flight in England. 85% possession of the ball in the first half. This is going to take away from the so-called entertainment factor, isn't it, from the league? Are people going to want to watch this?
Absolutely.
What, this kind of dominance?
Watching this training match, this is just attack versus defence. Where's the fun in that?
Well, more so in this case, because we know Newcastle are sliding down the Premier League at a rapid pace of knots, and now there's a takeover potential to happen at Newcastle, and Benitez is trying to push for that as quickly in January as he can to get funds in. So I don't think you'll see that quite that disparity as a regular basis with such a gap. That being said, it is not Man City's issue or problem to worry about what the rest of the teams, to worry about Mourinho moaning, to worry about what Arsenal are doing, to worry about what Conte's bemoaning at Chelsea. We've just seen Liverpool today, and we're going to discuss spending 75 million on a centre-half. So there are other teams out there spending money. It is up to the rest to try and bridge that gap.
In my opinion, it doesn't take away from the attractiveness of the Premier League at all. A couple of reasons. One, let me touch on this first. Maybe teams that look at Newcastle, a very poor Newcastle, who come within touching distance of at least getting a point against City. Maybe you see teams do that. But my big complaint, or my big concern of what we've seen in the league in the past, is teams being negative or pragmatic, for use of a better term, and get results.
Right.
When you see teams go out and play like City do, I have absolutely no problem with them winning week in, week out, and the gap widening, if that's their approach. Because what will happen is everybody will have to adopt that approach in moving their own clubs forward, in trying to compete with Manchester City. You'll see everybody else trying to do more of the same. Where, again, when it was pragmatism was the calling of the day, you saw more and more teams go that way, and I thought that was wrong for
Lads, we've got to applaud what Manchester City and Pep Guardiola are doing. When company goes off, most managers would put a centre half on. He didn't. He put a centre forward on. I think he's a top centre half. I think he makes good decisions. I think he makes players around him better. And I think that this is just what Klopp needs at the heart of that defence. Who will he partner him with? Well, we'll have to wait and see, but I think this is a massive help for Liverpool.
But he's not played that much football in the last couple of years. And I think what we have here is another scenario where, in some sense, and this might sound a little crazy at 75 million sterling, is that the jury's going to be out a little bit until he puts the performances on the field. And I'll tell you why. Because clearly there's been a lot of Southampton players going to Liverpool. One of them was Dejan Lovren, who was doing very well for Southampton. He goes to Liverpool, makes mistake after mistake. Celtic are a big club, but the standard of the league is not great. He comes to England, there's a bit of pressure at Southampton, not a lot. Does well, as Paul said. Now he goes into kind of the lion's den, where the focus, top end of the Premier League, Champions League, cup competitions, is on you every week. Can you make that difference to the Liverpool team? Yeah. Are you the answer?
No,
Can you work with Joel Matip?
He's got to.
That's why the jury's still out.
Everybody knows when balls come into the box at Liverpool, or they're going to concede. That was the thought process a few weeks ago. When he comes in, you're absolutely spot on. Much more high pressure, all eyes are on you, whether you're training or whatever you're doing, whatever competition you're in with Liverpool. This is big time. He's got to perform.
He makes a mistake at Southampton or two, we don't even bat an eyelid. We don't even talk about it. It's not even on the radar. He makes two mistakes at Liverpool in the first couple of games. We're on it all the time.
Here's the thing, Lovren was a much better defender at Southampton than Van Dijk ever was, I think. And now that's going to be the big thing, because Lovren comes in at Liverpool and we obviously know what's happened there. Is there a concern it could happen for Van Dijk as well?
Of course there is that concern. But if I'm sitting in Virgil van Dijk's shoes right now, and I'm going into Liverpool, I'm thinking, I can't be worse than the centre halves they have. So I come in with at least that little bit of a confidence.
Is that your mentality when you're a goalkeeper?
Absolutely. He's not taking over from Bruce and Palace. He's not taking over from Ferdinand and Vidic. He's going in. It's Lovren we're talking about here. Surely you feel I could come in there and do a better job than what Liverpool have on their books right now.
It's up to Klopp now to partner him with the right.
Well, but Joel Matip.
Whoever he selects, it's got to be, and he's got to have the protection.
It's not going to be Lovren or Klavan. It can't be.
By the way, there's no hiding now for Klopp, is there? If with the defensive issues, you spend a lot of money.
Well, yeah, but he still needs a goalie. And he's still got goalkeeper and fullback to worry about. This drama is not over for Klopp.
This is
by one side.
There's one piece in a five-piece puzzle, in my opinion. A back four and a goalkeeper. I think Liverpool need to see them compete with the likes of City and United. This is just one piece of that.
The good news is, look, is it FSG? I always get mixed up. The owners, FSG, Fenway Sports Group, have backed him again. Right, they've backed him, they've said to him, right, we're backing you. You're here for the long run. We're backing you. You've got Keita coming in the summer.
Yeah, but Coutinho's going, isn't he?
I would imagine so. Not in January.
No, but he'll go in the summer.
I think he'll go in the summer. But obviously, Salah doing as well as he has, and one or two others might dampen that a little bit. Still, he's going to lose a very good player. But they have backed him. And as we say, it's the jury's out for Van Dijk. It is an absolutely wonderful opportunity for this guy to go to one of the best clubs in England, if not Europe. And he's got a platform to go and do it now. And the platform is Virgil van Dijk's.
Let's just remind you the importance of this in Milan, Paolo, because Gattuso said this is like a World Cup final for AC Milan going into this clash.
Well, it's in his interests to make this into a bigger clash because there's nothing much to cheer about in the league, so the cup is something left for Milan to hang on to. But look, San Siro, the Milan derby, it's always a huge game. You've always got San Siro packed, enormous choreographies at both ends of the stadium. It meant a big deal, and it meant a big deal to both teams not only because Milan have been struggling lately, but because Inter have as well. Since their draw with Juventus in the league, they haven't beaten anybody, so they needed to win as much as Milan did.
If Milan go on and win the Cup, is that enough, maybe? Will we see Gattuso then be given this full time?
I doubt it. I think it would obviously depend on the context of the rest of the league season. I think this has bought him a little bit of time because there was some talk that he could even be out by the end of this week if he didn't win this game. But I think that the club is still going to be looking for a change of direction in the summer unless he somehow pulls off the real miracle, which would be to get them back into the Champions League.
Meanwhile, for Inter, they really have had a disastrous end to this calendar year, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's sort of one of those real, Pazza Inter is their nickname, crazy Inter moments, because they beat Kiev 5-0 at the start of December, and they were top of the league. Since then, they've played 5 games. They've scored 1 goal in those 5 games. 2 of those games went to extra time, and 1 of them was against Pordenone, who are playing in the 3rd tier. So the drop-off is just extraordinary, and I think we all thought that Luciano Spalletti was a manager who'd be able to keep in hand this team, who'd be able to change this up and down way they've always been, but it seems not.
Paolo, as always, thank you very much for your thoughts. That win for Milan then sets up a semi-final clash against Lazio. Meanwhile, the start of the year, we'll see the other quarter-finals, Juve against Torino and Napoli, Atalanta.